Welcome everyone to Amplif's Executive Voices. And today we have with us Dr. Anshumala Shukla Kulkarni. Dr. Anshumala Shukla Kulkarni is the head of minimally invasive gynecology at Kokila Bain Dhirubhai Ambani Hospital. She is a lead consultant at Endometriosis Center at Kokila Bain, and she's been certified by European Endometriosis League. She's a laparoscopic and robotic surgeon. She's been awarded Young Achievers Award by JCI organization for starting the first robotic surgery at Mumbai. She's also been awarded as Best Doctors in Mumbai by Outlook since 2013. And apart from just this, she's also been teacher. She's a teacher and guide for DNB gynecology program. She's a mentor for ICOG laparoscopic fellowship. She's a mentor for intuitive surgery robotic fellowship. And she's also an intuitive proctor to starting programs in robotic surgery across India. Dr. Anshumala, that is amazing. That's such an inspiring journey that you had.
Thank
And we
you.
are so happy to have you today with us at Amplif. Thank you for taking out the time for being with us. And I know that you are on your vacation and still you've kind of taken out this time for us. Thank you very much. And this is specifically for women. We wanted to do something on Women's Day, and you have kindly, helped us in getting this podcast together. Today, we're going to talk about some pertinent topics. So, ideally, at Amplif, we wanted to do something specifically for women leaders. And from women leaders, generally they rise the ranks between the age of 35 to 45. And as they go on in the leadership journey, there are certain issues that, generally physically that we are facing in terms of, perimenopause and menopause. And we thought that we take this time off. It's a topic that's not spoken very widely, sometimes even considered as a taboo to be discussed with people. And so we thought we'd do this specific podcast just on that for the women, especially not only people who are in the leadership position, but also who are getting there. What are the things that they should be aware of, any symptoms that they should be aware of. And with your experience, we would like to dive into the podcast. So, Dr.
Perfect.
Anshu, should we continue? Should I ask my
Yes.
first
Thank you
question
so
to you?
much, Archana, for inviting me to speak very specifically on women's health. And I will always find time for women's health. Believe me, it's never mind where I am at. Okay. And I think, especially considering it's going to be the Women's Day and the Women's Month, we should definitely highlight and help our fellow women as much as we can. So thank you, Archana, and thank you, MP Lift, for this also.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Anshu. So, my first question actually to you is, Dr. Anshu, I first want to know the difference between perimenopause and menopause. So, there's a lot of things happening on social media, and everybody is very
So,
confused, especially
yes.
for women who are in 40s and 50s. A lot of information on social media, but I'm not too sure whether what's good, what's right, what's not right. So, if you can just put some myths around what is perimenopause and menopause.
So basically, menopause is a condition where your ovaries run out. See, you're born with a fixed number of eggs when you are coming out from mommy's womb, and they get activated when you're around 12, 13 years of age, but they do run out at a certain period of time. The time period of running out of the eggs can vary from 45 years of age to 55 years of age. But basically, when you're completely run out of the eggs and you have no periods for the period of 12 months, which is 1 year of no period, is when you become menopause. You've achieved your menopause. Okay. And the time period between starting of decline of your hormones, which can be maybe a couple of months before you attain menopause, it could be a few years before you attain menopause, where slowly your hormones start dipping. You don't have as much of estrogen, you don't have as much of progesterone in your body, and there would be some symptoms that come up with it. Is what is called as perimenopause, and it's significant because perimenopause starts the change that starts happening. In fact, once you attain menopause, you kind of stabilize. It's the perimenopause part that's actually very disturbing for women. And as you rightly said, that's exactly the time when women are actually making big strides in their careers. So I think it's a very, very significant time for women at that point.
Oh, thank you very much. And you mentioned that, it starts quite before menopause actually sets in as well. And is there because I'm seeing more and more. Do you see in this era that we're living, is it starting earlier than what it was before, or as at an average? Because I'm seeing more and more women talking about them getting symptoms even at the age of 35 and on. So is that something that has changed over a period of
It
time?
has. So, by and large, this is very much genetically programmed. So, it is depending on how your mother went through menopause, what age she went through, what kind of genetics she has passed on to you. That's going to determine your exact age. However, as we say, epigenetics, which means things around our environment which affect how your genes work for us, is very, very important, and especially in today's time where there's a lot of pollution, there is stress, there's dependence on a lot of wrong kind of lifestyle. We do see a larger and a much faster decline in the egg count. So we have younger girls coming to us with very low counts of eggs left in their system, and the age is becoming, the age of menopause is shifting.
Shifting.
But anything which is after 40, we would call it as an early menopause. If you attain a menopause after 45, that's normal. That's considered okay. Early menopause is when you start attaining menopause between 40 and 45, and then the premature menopause, which is when you are under 40 years of age. But perimenopause can start at 35 as well. You may still continue to have your periods for the next 10 years, but you will suffer from all the symptoms that come with perimenopause even earlier. And I think it's totally dependent on how our lifestyle and our environment has changed, for sure.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much for that. And as you rightly said, women leaders are facing this and they don't talk about it much. Are there symptoms that they must look out for, wherein they say that at this point, I think I should go to a doctor and I should get myself checked. So, what would those generally be, and what should they be looking out for?
I would recommend all women to have a regular health check done the time they cross 35 years of age. So, which would include a routine set of blood investigations where your cholesterol, lipids, your liver function, your heart stress, like your HSCRP, homocysteine, ferritin levels are checked to see that your heart is fine. You should get your ultrasounds done regularly, pap smears done regularly, and a breast examination and a mammography after 40 years of age. I think that's a routine that you should do, but the signs and symptoms that come up to you, I think getting irregular periods is probably one of the last few things that happen to a woman. But there are a
Okay.
lot of other things that start happening to them, which are very confusing because they are sometimes overlapping with, being called moody or being
Yeah.
restless or being irritable
Yeah.
generally. But
Yeah.
these are very real cognitive changes that happen to women where they start forgetting things. And if you forget something and you're a high achiever, you're someone who's always done a lot in a jiffy and you're multitasking like crazy, suddenly you are not able to do that. It is going to cause you irritation because you were and you know what you were capable of, and now why are you not able to do it? But that's just the brain fog that happens to you. You don't remember little things. You don't know how you can't multitask. You find it a challenge to be able to complete a whole day without feeling extremely tired and disruptive. To at the end of the day, you just don't want to talk to anybody. You have major mood swings. You may experience hot flushes. You may experience even difficulty, say, in controlling urine. So this is another very major symptom that happens to women where they find frequency of urination happening or leak of urine happening. They may experience dryness, vaginal infections. They may suddenly lose interest in insects, so their libido really takes a hit. And whenever they do want to, suddenly the intercourse is very, very painful because vaginal pH has changed. So these are all subtle, small signs that start off, which
Right.
affect the woman a lot. And their whole day-to-day functioning gets disrupted quite a bit. So yeah, I mean these are the symptoms that you should look for. So I think when you go for a regular health check with your gynecologist, even if it's just a little list of things that you find a change, you know, these symptoms can vary. Not everybody has everything. Some people have some people have some more, and some people have very little. But the idea here is go for a check every year and tell your gynecologist, this is what I'm experiencing now, which was not there so much before. The
Mm.
other thing is that they will find that their periods are, though they are regular, they suddenly become little heavier or they become much
Mm.
less. Again, a
Mm.
sign of perimenopause happening. And you must communicate it to your gynecologist that, look, this is what I was not having before and I have it now. And you can take care of it. See, ultimately, you must understand perimenopause and menopause is a natural thing that all women are supposed to go through.
Yeah.
All of us were born with a significant amount of eggs, and it's a very natural thing that is happening to you. But it's not, you don't have to suffer because you don't have to, go through this thinking, okay, this is my life now, and oh my God, this is how I'm
Exactly.
going to be like that. No, you can ask for help, you can ask for supplements, you can ask for certain guidance in terms of how your lifestyle should be, so that you're able to be as normal as you were without feeling the stress of this change happening to you. So I think that's the key here.
Yeah. No, that's very interesting, Dr. Anshu, that you're bringing this up. And, what happens with women is, as you said, they're multitasking. There's work happening. That's the same age when if they have children,
Yes.
there's, a lot of things happening around
Correct.
children, home, and your personal health comes last. And that's
Yes.
where, and again, through this podcast, we want to tell women that it's very important to ask for that help. Sometimes they don't even understand, what's going wrong, and things are happening and they feel like this is just normal maybe. And sometimes I've also had people come up to me saying, I think I'm going insane, I'm going crazy, I don't know what's happening to me. And people are not realizing that this is very natural, like you said, to
Mm,
consider it
mm,
as the way we consider when you get periods. It's the same way as when the periods is going to go off, so it's a very natural thing. There are hormonal shifts and we need to manage them. So thank you very much for bringing that up. And I think through this
yeah,
medium, I wanted to say to all the women who are facing this, you're not alone. Because a lot of times you feel you are in that battle alone. It's not with everybody, but everybody is going through it with different symptoms, of
yeah,
course. The idea is to consult at the right time and ask the right questions. So, and people like you, doctors like you, Dr. Anshu, are the people who are there to guide us during that phase. Um,
sorry.
so, again, we mentioned that, executive levels, this is something that they face. I wanted to know from organizations' perspective, Dr. Anshu, because, a lot of help is given by organizations during the phase when someone's going through pregnancy, and there's a lot of leave that's given, but not much, even in organizations, is being spoken about menopause. Do you think there
Yeah.
can be more that can be done in the corporate world when it comes to menopause?
Yeah, I think, see, these are people who are going to be at 40, 45 years of age, who are going to be probably in the senior management level.
Yes.
And it's important for them to have a lot of focus. They are important for them to be able to concentrate, have the energy to be able to run around and, do whatever meetings and things are there. So, yes, it's a phase. Women are the ones who are going to have to, and I think we are resilient enough to have these phases in our life. Men don't go through it. Men have this one simple same thing, one puberty, and that's it. Then they are the same all throughout. They don't have things like what we go through. We were made like this for a reason because we had to nurture and hold a baby and all of it. So I think yes, if you say, should women and men be treated equal? I think no, because women are different. You must first of all recognize and accept that yes, women, though we are high achievers and we are very good in terms of our input and we have a lot to give in terms of organizations and work and corporates, and our work is actually led to people making billions of dollars and everything. I mean, we know
Yeah.
not only that, I mean, even in surgery or everything, we do very good work, but at the same time we are not men. And don't think and level us as the same level. Yes, you have to recognize, and the corporates need to be very sensitive about the fact that women have these changes in their lives. They do have it, and you have to accept it, that that's how it is, that's how nature has made us. So value what we give you, but at the same time accept what the changes we are going through as well. It's very important.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
allowing them probably flexible working hours, allowing them to maybe have, I mean, generally a portable fan for the hot flushes where you're seated at, an open and relaxed environment where you're sitting at. Giving them, I think, the time to have flexible timings and time to work from home kind of options would really make a difference.
Yeah.
Also, I think, support. So, like making sure they go for regular health checks
Yeah.
as a corporate responsibility. I think they should make sure that they are doing that so that they keep themselves at the peak of their health is there. So, yes, I think corporates should recognize that women are not the same as men. We are higher achievers. We are great contributors. but we also have what nature has given us. I mean, women can do great wonders.
Yeah.
With the support, the right kind of support, and the right kind of environment, we can be great. We are.
Wow, that's amazing, and this is a great perspective where we always talk about equality, but I also believe in the fact that physically men and women are different, and while we have all the potential, we just need to tap on that potential in the right direction, and we need to get the help that we need, and organizations need to realize that as well. That if given an opportunity, we can do brilliantly, but just help us when we need the help as well. And some of the
That's
sessions, like the self-awareness sessions that you can have around having topics like that discussed in organizations, having those workshops, I think can also help when it comes to women's health. So I think, rightly put, some flexible hours, if can be given to women, especially when they need it, can really work wonders for them. Absolutely. Thank you for bringing that up, Dr. Anshu.
right.
Also, from a medical perspective, Dr. Anshu, what support really exists when it comes to, you mentioned that you need to go to the doctors, but
Yeah.
I've noticed that a lot of people, when you go to a doctor, they talk about HRT. That's
Hmm.
the, hormone replacement therapy, which is
Hmm.
available to women, but not much is available in the medical domain for women to make a choice whether they should be going for it, should not be going for it.
True.
So any lights around that, as to how should you
So
make that decision?
actually, yeah, so actually, what happened is that the HRT or hormone replacement therapy had earned a bad reputation a few decades back because of a study by the Women's Health Initiative, where they found an increased risk of breast cancer. And that kind of made everyone in the medical field as well as general public take a back seat and say, no, no, we should not go on HRT. But there is a follow up on that study, which I think awareness has now started coming in, that there was a follow-up of the study and they found that there was a particular progesterone that was used in the HRT which was responsible, not the estrogen. So HRT, if we change that particular progesterone, is actually pretty safe. So I think that concept has changed. So definitely women should seek HRT. See, ideally what used to happen probably in our mothers or maybe our grandmother's time was by the age of 45, 50, you would have completed your childbearing when you were 20. Your child is already married, probably has a own kid. So your responsibilities are pretty much done. And this was the time that probably you were in the phase of winding down. So you didn't really have to do much, you didn't have to think much, you had to relax, and you had all the time in the world to do everything at a very, very slow pace, which was where how the nature has kind of made it that way that your body slows down. You can't do as much as you used to do before, and then things change in our body when we become menopausal. But now, in current scenario, we are not in that phase. We are now people who are working. We have had children at a later age. Our children are now kind of getting into their career, or they are just maybe for some people still in school and not sure, and they're not settled by any standards. Plus, we want to do more. We want to work better. So I think that is where the gap has come in as well. That what our thought process was to say that this is the age when anyways menopause happens and things should wind down. We are not prepared for that. And
Right.
it's now recognized that you have to treat menopausal symptoms. You have to treat patients who go through this because it's not medically good for them in terms of their bone and heart health, but it's also not good for them in their psychological aspect. It's not good for
Yeah.
them in their, interpersonal relationships as well. So you have to treat HRT. You cannot say that women should just go through this and not go it. No, I mean, that whole concept is now out of the window. So definitely women should now seek HRT. HRT is totally safe as long as you're under monitoring and you're under care of a gynecologist and you're taking it in the correct form.
Yeah.
Different HRTs are available for different people. But I think that whole taboo of why you should go for HRT should not exist anymore. That doubt should not be there. There are certain cases of people who have had a history of breast cancer or
Mhm.
ovarian cancer, where you may have to take a step back on giving a synthetic hormone replacement therapy. But then there are other options available. So we always, when we start off with giving HRT, we always start with using lifestyle changes, lifestyle modifications, where you are going to take care of your diet. So you have to switch to a diet which is not very carb heavy. It has to be more
Right.
protein, more fibers, lot of fresh fruits, lot of dry fruits, things which are nutrition dense but not calorie dense. So you need to shift your diet in that manner. You have to make sure you have a good exercise regimen in place. You have to find the time for yourself. 20 minutes of cardio, 20 minutes of weight training, both
Right.
together, not just cardio, because just cardio is also not going to help you anyway at all. There are certain phytoestrogens. These are plant-containing estrogens which are available in nature, which do help with a lot of our cognitive, for example, your hot flushes or your brain fog and your emotional instability can be helped by using all these other non HRT or non synthetic hormone based HRT, which is available, which can be taken safely. It
Mhm.
does not have any major repercussions at all through life. And then if those things are not working, you can actually give on to taking synthetic estrogen and progesterone therapy. So these things are available for women, whether it is vaginal dryness, you have local vaginal gels available. There are treatments available to restore vaginal elasticity and to restore vaginal health as well. So for those of you who are experiencing painful intercourse, you can offer these things to help you get over that symptom. So there is a whole array, and it has to be suited according to what the patient actually comes to you with. So definitely, therapy, medications, lifestyle modifications are very much available. They are totally safe, and even synthetic hormone replacement therapy can easily be given up to 55 years of age. So they should start seeking help for that. Yeah.
No, this is very well put. Especially, I love the fact that you gave us the difference between how it was previously and how it is today's world, where things are very different. Because if you ask our earlier generation, our
Yeah.
mothers, they will say, you should do it naturally. We did it. You don't have to do anything. But there is a difference, and you so rightly put out that difference, saying it wasn't the same for them versus us, where today we're doing so much more, and that is the reason that we need to ask for that help. And the second thing that I really loved about what you said is, while you want to take any, if you want to take HRT, for example, you will have to do it under guidance. So, one message again that I want to give everybody is that the guidance is important. You need to go to your doctor and have a guided approach to HRT. They will give you the right information. So, while it's safe, please don't try to do it yourself, because today's world, there's so much available, and people sell and market things which we all get influenced by. There are so many influencers doing so many things. It's very important that we go for these things to the right people, to the right doctors, and do this under the right guidance.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So you have bioidentical hormone gels available, very popular now. Now you remember that those bioidentical gels are actually equivalent to taking synthetic estrogen progesterone. So they are not they're good to take because they're gels you apply on the skin, but they are like synthetic hormone replacement. So you have to be vigilant. Don't take it without getting yourself monitored for your mammographies and your ultrasounds before you. It's very important.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I loved also the lifestyle changes that you mentioned, wherein we are saying that it's not just about, exercising, but what are you doing in that exercise is also very important. So if
Very
people
much.
think that they
Very
can
much.
if you're just walking and you're going to be able to do and you'll be able to manage a lifestyle, that's not okay. You will also have to combine different forms of exercises as well as your food intake. So thank you very much for that. The other thing that I wanted to speak to you about, is the support system. I think this is a phase where we need the most support, because, of course, we're going through a lot of changes, but it's also impacting a lot of people around us. So it's just not us, but also people around us. Whether it's our spouses, our children, or at workplace, our colleagues. So that support system, and they don't understand what's going on with us. So how can
Yeah.
we make our partners, our families better understand what women are really going through?
So this is very interesting. A lot of times there'll be a woman who will come to me and maybe she's had a hysterectomy for whatever other reason, and the daughter typically and the husband will be sitting on both sides. The lady and then the daughter will go on saying like, "What is wrong with her? She keeps fighting with me all the time. Suddenly she's crying. There is no reason to cry, but she's still crying. Why does she
Yeah.
do this?" And then the husband is like, "I don't want to just stay out of the house because every time I come, she'll fight with me. Every time she's done, no, why is she doing this?" And then the poor lady is just sitting there quietly, just listening to these
Yeah.
two people. Then I told them, I tell them, just take a step back and realize that she is going through a phase. And
Yeah.
at this point of time, if you don't understand her, you yourself said it, that she was not like this before. Now she's fighting with
Yeah.
me every time. So you know who your mom really was, right? Before. You know what she was. All
Yes.
these years that she's looked after you, all these years that she's taking care of you, it's possible that she's going through a phase now where she herself needs that support. So as a
Yeah.
daughter, I tell the girls, I said, now you realize that she now needs your support because you yourself said it. She was not like this before. Now why is she fighting with me all the time? Why is she all the time irritated? If I say anything, she starts crying. Why is she crying all the time?
Yeah.
So like understand it. It's not her fault. It's not that she wants to behave like this or she wants to, make a drama or a scene every single time. It is something that is just happening to her because of how her hormones are behaving with her mind. Her
Yeah.
nature is changing. She is becoming more sensitive. She is becoming more irritable. Sometimes it is just irritation because you can't get work done. Whatever. So it's a change that as a kid, you know your mother. As
Yeah.
a husband, you know your wife, how she has been all her life.
Yeah.
You know that she could do 10 things before, but now she forgets. And yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes she forgets and she doesn't do all the things that she's done all these years. But when she's done all so much for you, so many years,
Yeah.
give her these 2, 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Understand
Absolutely.
her and just be there. Say it's okay. I'll take the load off her. At home, I would say for the husband and the kids that they just have to take the load off what they would expect their mother to do for them on this one. So, and for the mother, I think she needs to be very vocal about it. She doesn't have to
Yeah.
keep quiet and think because a lot of them they don't realize why it's happening. They blame themselves. They say, "Oh, something must be wrong with me. Like, why am I doing this?" If they don't want to do it. It happens, but they don't know. They don't understand that look, I can ask for help or I can say that this is something that I'm not in control of. So delegate work. You don't have to get up. If you can't get up in the morning anymore, you don't have to get up in the morning every single day of your life. You've done it. It's okay if you take a break right now and say, boss, I can't make your lunch anymore. Figure it out. Okay, I can do something a little bit later, but right now in the morning, getting up is becoming very difficult for me. I need that time out. Or in the evening when the kids are coming home from school, like this is my exercise time. I need to go for my exercise. It's okay. I would have made something and kept for you. Go and take it, or make something for yourself. Your children are old enough to do some things for themselves, I'm sure. But the woman needs to take that own. Should not take that onus on herself. Very important. So the family has to understand that a woman is going through a change, and they have to be supportive. They have to now take on responsibilities from her. Let her be. I think that's the whole key. Just let her be. Let her do what she can. If she can't do it, that's it. Accept it that she can't do it. You do it. You are capable enough of doing it right now. The husband and the kids as well. It's the same thing for workplace as well. I mean, for workplace, see what happens is women will. There is going to be a compromise somewhere or the other. Either it will be at home or it will be at work. So either they will quit work because they feel they can't do anymore, or they will start taking lesser responsibility. They won't take a job, they won't take a raise, or they won't take a promotion in their job because they feel I may not be able to do it. But I think at workplace, if you're motivated enough and you know you can gather support around you around your colleagues, you know, make that thing to let them also know that I'm going through this phase and it's okay. Sometimes I may feel a bit more emotional or I might forget something. But I'm there and I'm making an
Absolutely.
effort to look after it. And you can take medical help as well. So you can get over these symptoms as well. To recognize them, gather support around you, make sure you delegate work where you don't have to do it yourself personally. Make time for yourself. Like don't that whole thing of sacrificing and doing things for everybody else but yourself ends here. The moment you go through, this is the time when you look after yourself, you can go on and on and on for the next decades or so. So this is the time when you need to now understand and let people understand around you as well that you are going to be the priority. They have to be.
Absolutely.
That's how it is.
Yeah, and I think through this medium, again, I know that this podcast is not only seen by women, this going to be seen by a lot of men. I think this is an important message that Dr. Anshu is giving all of you. Is also around saying that you need to also understand the women in your lives, whether it's your
Correct.
family or it is at workplace. You might be working with your colleagues who are at that stage. Just saying that she's moody or it's difficult to talk with her is not how you should interpret things. You should probably look at, put yourself in their shoes and try and understand that they're going through something and they need the support at this point of time, especially when Dr. Anshu said that they were not like this previously and now they are. So there are shifts that are happening. We need to look at the bigger picture, and we need to look at the fact that they have a lot of potential and that we need to tap on that potential
And
again.
it's a
So
phase, no? It's a phase. It's a
absolutely.
phase that's going on with them. It's not something that they are, and it's not something that's going to stay forever. It's
Absolutely.
just a phase. You support them, you support yourself, you get on with this, and you're back to what you were before, really. So it's just that the phase has to be understood and correctly with a correct kind of approach for the woman. It takes a lot of
Absolutely.
load off the woman as well as everyone around you. How to deal with this. I mean, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. I hope everybody does understand this, both women and men, that it's just going to be a phase. We're going to be back at what we were before in just a few months, or at least I also feel that there's at least a lot of acceptance as you go along in your age, a lot more maturity. The initial phase, it becomes a little more difficult to accept things, but as you move along, I think a lot of acceptance comes from both sides. So, through this medium, I want to tell all men and women, be vocal. For women, please be vocal. As Dr. Anshu said, please ask for help. And men, please be more supportive. Children, please be more supportive of that phase of the women who are in your life. With that, I'm going to actually ask, just a few rapid fire questions
So,
to you, just to make it
so
fun because we're almost at the end of the podcast. So I'm just going to
okay.
ask you just maybe 4 or 5 questions, which will be like rapid fire. Okay, so ready, Dr. Anshu?
Yes, sure. Let's go.
Okay, so one word that describes perimenopause for you.
Change. Big change.
Change. Okay, most misunderstood symptom.
I would say the hot flushes or the mood swings. That's the most misunderstood statement.
Symptom.
28% of women who go through menopause actually go into depression because of this. So it's the mood change and the emotional instability, which is the most misinterpreted. Yeah,
Absolutely. Okay, every one lifestyle habit that every 40 plus women should adopt.
weight training,
Weight training.
proper
Yes.
exercise. You have to do cardio, but you have to do weight training. If you don't weight train, you're going to lead to bone and muscle loss. You're not going to be strong enough. That's like the first thing. Everyone has to do weight training for sure.
Okay, perfect. One sentence women should tell themselves during tough days.
I'm going to get over this. I'm stronger than this. Is what I
I'm
would like to
stronger
say.
than. Okay, perfect. I'm
Yeah.
stronger than this. That's the message that Dr. Anshu wants to give everybody. And thank you very much, Dr. Anshumala, for
Thank
being with us, sharing these insights. These are so, so helpful for everybody who is listening to us, who's going to see this video
you.
and taking your time out from your vacation for doing this with us. And yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Archana. I think it's great that you're speaking about this, and definitely women should empower themselves. So when you know what you're going through, get the help you require. It's possible to get over this as well and be what you are completely, totally. Like you don't need to feel out at the sea at all. Yeah.
Thank you. And happy Women's Day to everyone. Thank you very much. And yeah, keep following us at Executive Voices. We will get more voices for all of you at leadership positions, just like Dr. Anshu. So keep listening to us, keep following us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Archana. Bye bye.
Thank you, Dr. Anshu.